What is going on? You're listening to episode 177 of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh. Player 2. Hey, Zero, what's up, dude?
Hey, what up, NPC fam? It is your boy, Hate Zero, your hero.
You went like all Max Headroom there. Like,
did I?
Yeah.
I ruined the intro with bad internet. It's Hate Zero, your hero.
Hey, cool. Player 3. Mel, hello. How are you?
Pretty good. I'm pretty good.
Pretty good. Nintendo Directs make Mel's happy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She also won't sleep tonight because she's so excited it's like Christmas. So.
Yeah, it's stupid body. It's like
I hope you sleep because it doesn't start till like 2 o'clock Pacific, so it's gonna take a while.
Yeah. That's not gonna do anything. I know.
Well, hey, that music you guys just heard that's gone now, that's from On Being Human. You can check them out on Spotify and YouTube. This is an unofficial Nintendo podcast, and if you'd like to get yourself a free book from Audible, you can go to audibletrial.com/NPC. Pick up something awesome like Console Wars, Ready Player One, or Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. Those are all books I highly recommend. The chair I'm sitting in is from OP Seat. If you go to n64josh.com/OP-Seat, you automatically save $10 at checkout. And right now, for Valentine's Day, you can save an additional $20. Okay? So that's a total of $30 if you use my link. I love this chair. Highly recommend it. Go check them out, n64josh.com/OP-Seat. And the last thing I want to mention is my book, Another Castle. It is available at n64josh.com/Another Castle, and it is my journey with depression, disappointment, and how I overcame. And it's all illustrated with Super Mario Brothers. So you can check that out again at n64josh.com/Another Castle. I think we can get to the announcements.
Hey, listen!
Guys, we have a weekly Mario Golf tournament happening on 3DS. You can check the Discord for that, n64josh.com/Discord. Weekly Mario Kart tournament. I think I'm going to be doing my races on Saturday mornings. So if you want to get in on that, we can have up to 12 people racing. And that's when everybody can get the most points as well. So Saturday mornings, probably... I say mornings for me because it'll probably be like 11-ish. The best is just to stay in the Discord because I don't want to set like a hard time. Like this is when I'm going to be doing my races, but they will be on Saturday mornings. I'll update the Discord when I'm going to do it. So, and I do stream that. And speaking of streaming, I am live Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific every week. Come do viewer battles and Smash. It's a good time. Fridays, I also start a little bit earlier and we do first looks, looking at indie titles and AAA games, depending on what has come out. And all that takes place on twitch.tv/N64Josh. With that, we are going to jump to our reviews and impressions.
Here we go!
So I know Eric has been all about this new Switch game called Apex Legends.
Yeah.
How's that been going for you?
So obviously it's not on Switch, but maybe tomorrow we'll find out. I really doubt it, but hey, maybe. So yeah, I have been playing that. I'm not gonna lie, I've been playing some Xbox, and if you like battle royales, I think it's definitely worth checking out. I think the best comparison I saw online was it's like, I hate to say Fortnite, but that's just what people know. So I'll say Fortnite anyways, but mixed with Rainbow Six. So you've got your heroes who have unique abilities. None of those are game-breaking abilities, but they are different enough that they do change the game a fair amount. And it's team-based, 3-person squads, and the gunplay's great, and it's free. So if you have a PS4, Xbox One, or PC, you should download it for free. A great price.
Maybe we can get the streamed version on the Switch, you know, like Resident Evil 7 was.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what engine the Titanfall folks use. That's so the developers Respawn, who did Titanfall and Titanfall 2, or at least they did Titanfall 2. I don't know if they rebranded to do that.
They left. They were Infinity Ward devs. Infinity Ward devs.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Talking.
So I mean, if you turn it down enough, you might be able to get it to run on Switch, and I'd be okay with that because it's just fun to play. Like, the gameplay is really solid. Graphically, it is pretty, but if it were less pretty, that wouldn't take away from my enjoyment at all.
I bring it up, and I know there's probably people going, "This is a Nintendo show. Why are we talking about this?" Well, I bring it up one because I knew Eric had been playing. I played a little bit of it. Me and Get Wrecked Becker tried it out late Saturday night, and we'd never had a third, and so that made for not the most fun trying to get the random third that wasn't in Discord with us. But when is somebody gonna do a game like this? Not necessarily like exactly, but for the Switch. When is the Switch going to get that killer app first person shooter that I feel like somebody could absolutely just clean house right now if they did so. And they, of course, put it on all systems. I mean, the way Unity and the Unreal Engine work, I believe they scale, and you can get them running on from mobile to PC, high-end PC. I'm just curious on when something like that is going to happen, because it really seems like an untapped market that it could do well. Now, maybe that's just my bias talking, right? But I would love to see just a top-notch first-person shooter. Don't get me wrong, Doom is amazing. Loved it. You see tons of potential there of what could be possible. The only thing I would hope for is if we ever did see something like this make its way to Switch, is I'm not a huge fan of this battle royale stuff, because I feel like it takes so long to get into the action. And so
you're spawning in the wrong spots. You just got to drop right into the action.
Well, right. Yeah, I understand. But I really like I think it's just my old school roots of just like, I just want to do team deathmatch, right? First to 50, come back in right away,
So for me, I think the major difference is team deathmatch with respawns is fun, but I always was more of a fan of the Rainbow Six, where you have one life to live, and when you die, you don't respawn. You have to wait till the next round. So these kind of feel more like that for me, where you don't get to run around like a madman. You can, but there's a good chance you're going to die doing that, and your game's going to be pretty short-lived.
So, you know me, I'm super aggressive, right? So, Plumber's saying Doom true. Online. I've had a blast playing Doom online. Like, Crawler and I have jumped into a few matches, and I've had a really good time with that. So, but it's just one of those games that it just feels a little generic, I want something that is that doesn't feel like the multiplayer's tacked on to a single player experience. That's what I'd like to see on the Switch. So who knows? We might find out something tomorrow. You never know. But Mel, what have you been playing?
I actually got back into Splatoon 2 because this past Saturday was the Pancakes versus Waffles Splatfest. And ever since then, I had a group of friends and we've just been playing on and off. And it's still fun. I got some more gear with some 3 slots, so that's going nice. It's actually nice clothes too. It's not something really ugly, which usually what happens. And I've been playing a little bit of Sushi Striker as well, because I took a break from that because, man, those matches get so intense. They're a minute and a half long for some of these rounds, but man, they get my little heart racing. And I guess I'm just too old for that, where I can just do a couple of matches back to back. So slowly but surely, I'm getting through the single play. I think I'm close to done now.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Well, I've kind of made it a little bit of a goal this year to try to actually complete some games, and because of that, I'm taking advantage of on the weekends, after everybody has passed out in my house, I will take my Switch downstairs, maybe put on some of the shows that I like to watch or whatever, and play for about 30 minutes max before I zonk out on the couch. But I've been making my way through Bayonetta 1 and Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. So that's been cool to get back into those. And as far as what I played a little bit over for the first looks this weekend, though, I did Wargroove, which we talked about at length last week, and enjoyed it. Thought it was pretty fun, and I would like to spend some more time with it. Played another one called Thea: The Awakening. All these were strategy games, not necessarily my cup of tea, but I do recommend going and checking out the first looks on YouTube if you're into strategy games like Civilization and things like that. Thea has done very well on the Switch so far. I believe, Mel, didn't you say it was the best? It sold more than any other platform for them at launch?
Its first week sales was the best on the Switch, and this game has been out for like 3.5 years, so that's pretty darn good.
Yeah, and it looks pretty. It's very in depth, and it also looks like it would take you a very long time to finish it. That's the vibe I was getting anyway. So, if strategy games are your thing, definitely check out Thea: The Awakening. At least check out my video. The other one was Robothorium, and it was kind of a turn-based strategy RPG, and again, not necessarily my cup of tea, and the cons with this one for me, I mean, the gameplay was fine. Like I could get into that if I sat down with it for a while. Where I have the biggest issue is I really don't care for the way this game looks. Like I don't like the art style. I would much prefer seeing pixel art instead of what looks like a Flash game in a way. Is that a good description, you think, Mel?
I can see that.
Yeah, so it's just not my favorite look, but overall I think the gameplay was pretty fun, and again, a lot to do there. You have different characters to level up, and you know, so again, check out the videos. I played both of them for about 15 minutes or so, and see what you guys think. But that was Thea: The Awakening and Robothorium, and then of course Wargroove. So. I also played some Smash, but I'm sure you're all very shocked by that.
Shocking. I am so shocked.
I do want to recommend, if anybody doesn't listen to the Smash Bros cast and you're not like into the competitive scene or things like that, the last episode we just did was all about how to train Amiibo to like there's a whole other scene of people that are into training Amiibo and having their Amiibo fight and getting together for tournaments and things like that. And it's very in depth. And now we have a whole new server in our Discord all about training Amiibo. I've seen people in my Twitch chat all day today, like Plumber, saying, I've been training my Ridley and now I can't beat him. You know, so like they're having fun with it. So if that's something that you might be interested in, like but you're not playing competitively, you've already collected all your spirits, or you know, whatever the case is, you want to get a little more life out of Smash Bros. Check out this Amiibo training, and you can fight your Amiibo against other people online. So that's all happening in the Discord, and it's you know, it's crazy. I couldn't believe how in depth it was. So maybe worth checking out. With that, we're gonna jump over to the news. All right, for all you Hollow Knight fans, Team Cherry is teasing DLC. Should be news this Thursday. Mel, is there anything we should know?
This is the Hornet DLC, which is the character you encounter like 2 or 3 times in the game. There's a little backstory probably that's going to be in depth for this, and she's going to have a different playstyle since she uses that needle. So that should be fun.
Okay, so you're playing as a different character altogether.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Very good. Cool. So I didn't even want to talk about this, honestly, because we've talked about this back and forth. I see articles saying it's been leaked, it's happening, and other articles saying no, it's not happening. And that's AC, and I'm not talking Animal Crossing. I'm talking about Cayman's favorite game, Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed 3 had, I guess, may have been leaked by Club Ubisoft. for the Switch. Okay, like I kid you not, I've seen no, it's not on the Switch. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Like I don't know if anybody actually knows, to be perfectly honest. I'm not sure if anybody knows.
You would think Club Ubisoft would know.
You would think.
I would hope they would know.
You'd think. But so my guess, we're probably going to hear about this game tomorrow if it was true. Jay Harley in chat says, "But wait, there's more. Act now." So, next up is some Pokemon news. If you are a Pokemon fan, you live in the New York area. Nintendo of New York is doing Pokemon Day starting Wednesday, February 27th, and going through the March 3rd, Sunday, March 3rd. And Mel, what were you saying? That there's a lot of people that are thinking there might be some kind of announcement, maybe?
Because at this little store event, Nintendo Treehouse is going to be there, answering questions and stuff like that. Usually when these Pokemon events happen, you don't have Treehouse all for the entire time. So they're going to be there for 5 days answering stuff. So again, this could be a lot of fluff, or we could have, maybe an announcement, not tomorrow, but like in the coming weeks before this Pokemon Day. Because we are at that time frame, actually, for new generation news. Because Pokemon X and Y, we got news in January. Pokemon Sun and Moon, we got news in February. So it's not out of the ordinary. But again, keep expectations low. This could easily be some fluff.
There you go. So if you're in New York, though, and you're into Pokemon, something we're checking out. And speaking of Pokemon, you guys ready for this? A demo for Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee is now live on the eShop right now. You can go and download the demo if you have yet to try those games and there's something you want to, there's something you'd like to try. Well, now you can. So, pretty good stuff there. And the biggest news of the day. Any guesses, Eric, on what this news is?
Is it not the demo for Let's Go Pikachu? I thought I showed up here for the announcement of the demo.
I know. I mean, I know you're pretty hyped, but no, there is a Nintendo Direct tomorrow starting at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern. And with that, we're going to move right into our talking point because we're going to talk speculation, what we know, what we don't know, and maybe some predictions. Here we go.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go!
All right. So, Eric, I'm going to let you kick this thing off.
It's a dangerous game.
It's a dangerous game.
All right. So, as you all know, we're getting a Direct tomorrow. I don't know why we need a Direct. You just spilled the beans that the demo's out now. There's no reason. Just kidding. So the biggest thing we're going to probably all talk about this back and forth, so I'm not going to just long-winded talk here, but I want to see a lot of third-party support. Nintendo can do Nintendo, and we know they can do it well. They're probably going to surprise us with a Nintendo title. I hope they do. I won't be shocked if we see gameplay or it's probably still too early for a release date for Luigi's Mansion from Nintendo official. That'll probably happen at E3. But I'm not going to be surprised Nintendo doing Nintendo. What I would like is a GTA 5. Even though I'm not a huge Assassin's Creed fan, I'd like for them to confirm that because that shows some of the third-party support that we've been wanting. Maybe not Apex Legends, but maybe some other third-party first-person shooter or shooter in general comes. So that's what I'm looking for.
Mel, what are you looking for?
I am super glad in the tweet announcement they just said, hey, Fire Emblem news is coming. Because this is one of my top 3 as of now that games that actually exist that I want news on. So I'm very much looking forward to that. There's been some, some little talks of a possible 2D Zelda coming out this year. So I think it's kind of early to see that. But if it happens, I would die tomorrow because I love me some 2D Zelda, and I don't care. It can be single player or it can be multiplayer.
To play on the Nintendo Switch Online, right?
No. Oh my, Nintendo Switch, yeah. Oh my god, I was just thinking 3DS automatically because that's what you usually do to me. You usually go over for the 3DS, your favorite system still.
So
that's another thing too. They didn't announce 3DS in a tweet. They just said Switch. So hopefully that's a good sign.
Well, all right. First of all, I don't understand what's all the hate for the system that brought you so much joy for so long, right? Like. You're just ready to let it rest. You're just ready to let it rest in peace, life. I think. You know. So
he's a little guy.
Here's. I'm gonna go long. Sorry, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, and we can interrupt me. That's fine. This year is packed. That's where I'm gonna start. 2019 is, as of right now, just the games that I can name off the top of my head. This year is packed. Let's start with. Just a handful of third-party games. Mortal Kombat, Doom. Okay, so there's some third-party games right there. I'm assuming FIFA's coming again because they seem like this will be the third year in a row, right? Pretty certain at this point that Assassin's Creed is going to be a thing. Okay, I'll be surprised if it doesn't happen. Now, so that's just four, semi AAA, kind of one of them's a port, right? But Mortal Kombat and Doom are brand new games. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, and you could I guess this is kind of second party. I don't even know anymore. But you've got the Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, right? Being put out by Team Ninja. Okay. Daemon X Machina, we're fairly certain is coming out. Fire Emblem, Luigi's Mansion, Animal Crossing, Pokemon, Town, which is from Game Freak, right? This is not a small number of games already coming out. And, the rumor is that we're still going to see another port, like a Wii U port from a title in 2013. Emily Rogers has a bunch of stuff that she that she put together in an article, I guess, saying that it's a 2013. It was released in 2013 on Wii U.
I feel like that's easy enough to narrow down. They only released one game a year, so
right. So I've seen rumblings of Mario Maker or Mario Maker 2. Right. This year's out of control. There's one thing that I want to focus on a little bit, and we've talked about it briefly. I think Mel and I talked about it last week. Is this rumor of a smaller, more portable Switch, right? And we've seen all kinds of was it you and I, Mel, last week?
Yeah, that was us.
Yeah. So I do so many podcasts I don't remember sometimes.
I know.
So bear with me. Look at the main titles coming out this year for Nintendo. Fire Emblem, Animal Crossing, Pokemon, Luigi's Mansion. All of those games, I don't even think I said Luigi's Mansion when I was counting that list a minute ago. All of those games have thrived in the portable market. And this would make sense to me to see Nintendo release a smaller, more portable device, give it a Pokemon special edition. Look, I wonder, this is pure speculation, but I wonder if by the time the Switch is done, we don't see the base model that we have now, a strictly home console model that can be, 4K, all that stuff, who knows, and then a portable version all playing the same games. At this point, anything's possible. And if you look at the history of Nintendo and what they've done with the Game Boy, the DS, the 3DS, within 2DS, this is totally within their within their wheelhouse to do something like this. I mean, the Wedge seems so strange when they released it, the first 2DS, but it was like $100. Eventually dropped down to $80. It makes total sense. If they stop the production of the 2DS, 3DS, and just let it go, let it fade, and bring in a new Switch, I think there's the potential for them to maybe sell more consoles than the Wii, and possibly the PS2, if the economy holds and that's the route they go. That's a big prediction, I know, but I don't know.
It's a good prediction. Hey, so can we circle back to the games that came out in 2013, because there's few that really stand out.
Okay.
So the Wind Waker HD remake, Pikmin 3, well, Game & Wario I wouldn't say as much. There was another one that really stuck out. Well, the Assassin's Creed Black Flag 4, I can't imagine, but Super Mario 3D World was also, and then NES Remix. I think those four, Pikmin 3, NES Remix, Super Mario 3D World, and what was the other one? I can't remember now.
You said Assassin's Creed, but...
No, not that one. That's silly. It doesn't matter. I think those are all very plausible. So.
The one I heard the most was Pikmin 3.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been hearing.
Wind Waker remake was 2013 as well, which they did say, didn't they say the next Zelda game's probably sooner than we think? That would be a real easy way to accomplish that.
One of the things I think that we will probably see, and I don't know that I'm like super excited about this, but I'm guessing tomorrow's third-party support is still going to be a lot of ports.
Mm-hmm.
We're still going to see ports, and that's good to see these companies stepping out. I mean, look, we've seen Blizzard last year. And so, but next year, 2020, when everybody's had 4 years to be working on games for the Switch, I think this year's going to be an amazing year to be a Switch owner. Honestly, we already know there's so many games, but by the time year 4 hits and everybody's got games ready to launch, like it could be crazy. So
I'm not even mad at the ports though, because there's so many good games that I've missed, or there's games I didn't finish. So I picked up Kingdom Hearts 3 on the Xbox. The entire time I play it, every time I play it, I can't help but thinking how much better my time would be if it were on the Switch. It's a game that should be on the Switch. It's not. It's a good looking game. It looks like a Disney movie, but I feel like the Switch could run it, and timing was the issue really. I would take Kingdom Hearts, complete collection on the Switch, so I can go back and play some of those. Like, I feel like that's a perfect use of some of these ports. It doesn't bother me at all, and I welcome it because odds are I didn't play or finish most of them.
So a fun game people like to play after a direct is announced is they go through and check which companies have retweeted it, and Square is one of the companies that retweeted the direct. So they've already announced a bunch of stuff, right?
Yeah.
We already know release dates for a bunch of stuff. So there's the chance that who knows, maybe Kingdom Hearts is one of those announcements,
Or
maybe it comes with the announcement that Sora's in Smash too,
Maybe we'll get the Final Fantasy VII remix before the PS6. Just saying. Never know.
I do think we have a good chance at a shadow drop of 7 tomorrow, though, because they've been airing a commercial on, TV, internet, and all that stuff. There's this guy, he's on a plane, he's playing Final Fantasy VII, then he goes home and plays Mario Kart with his kids, and at the end of the commercial it says coming soon for Final Fantasy VII. So that's my guess for tomorrow.
That'll
shadow
be
drop.
the out now. That's what you're calling, huh?
That's what I'm calling.
Interesting. So a few other things to cover. Like I want to take a step back and look at March. I think it was March 8th last year when we saw Aces. We saw the Octoling expansion. and we saw Smash announced, right? And it was really that direct that kind of laid out the year for us. There were a few other things, I believe, with some other directs, but then a lot of the directs kind of became focused, like Smash focused, that kind of thing. And so what do you guys think we might see for DLC this year? You think you think Splatoon's completely off the table? You think Odyssey's an option? Mario Kart, Mario Party, Smash, Odyssey? I mean,
You really want Odyssey. You said it twice.
I know I did because I'm so excited about it. I want Sunshine and 64.
Odyssey, I think it would be a missed opportunity if they don't do some real DLC with Odyssey. And obviously we don't know if they're going to or not. They've done updates for sure, but no real DLC. That game was so good, but unless there's a major draw, I'm not going to go back to it most likely. And it's a shame because I really loved that game. It's a blast. So yeah, more story content would be amazing, even if it's just small end game stuff to do. I would enjoy it.
About Aces, think we'll see any Aces DLC?
Aside from like characters and like new clothes, no.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you get a new level, new tennis court, and a few characters, but I doubt they're gonna significantly add modes to that game at all. I think kind of this is what we get. We might get some clothing option and characters, and maybe some gameplay tweaks from here on out. But I don't think they're gonna do anything significant. I'd love to be wrong.
I think that game would have benefited from a season pass and a content path, like a plan of what they were planning on doing.
Yeah.
Yeah and no, because like the idea of a season pass and how they announce these season passes, usually it takes a while for what's fully in them. So I can see if they announced that too early and didn't give us the details right away, people would have been like, well, I'm not buying that. I don't know what's in it. This is
or you'll buy it and have no idea what's in it, and it was a horrible DLC that you purchased, and all you got from it was a T-shirt. Not naming any names.
I guess I'll go back. It not necessarily a good thing, but I think it would have made. I think if we were gonna see DLC for it, we might have seen a season pass. And the only reason I say this is because they did the season pass with Mario Golf on the 3DS, right? And it was what was strange with Mario Golf on that system is that like people kind of were okay with the season pass, but because there was plenty of content like to play through your single player adventure mode, but when it came to just courses to play golf, there's like 3 or 4 total, so it's kind of like
my problem now is I don't typically buy season passes, but I really like this new battle royale approach to season passes, because someone like me who doesn't care about skins at all, I don't have to spend any money to get enjoyment out of it. With a Call of Duty, I immediately, after the first season, I immediately get locked out of the new 2 maps or however many maps they drop. So I think there's a way to do season passes in a game like Aces where you can get stuff that doesn't break the game for everybody, but still give them some money so they can keep pumping new content in there. So, they've got big updates for everyone. And then if you paid for it, you get, Mario's evil twin, not Wario, real evil twin, proper evil twin. Just skins, so stuff like that. It's a pipe dream. I'm not a huge DLC fan, obviously.
I'm okay with it if it adds stuff worth doing, right?
Yeah.
And like when you look at games like Mario Party that could desperately need online play, could need some more boards, maybe some more characters to play as. That I'm cool with. Not that it felt like Oh, this was the only thing I felt was lacking in that game from the get-go was the online play. Everything
So
else.
let me ask you this then, and we're getting a little off topic, but it's fine, right? It's a Tuesday night. Let me ask you this. If they did come out and say, we've got some DLC that's going to add online to Mario Party for $20, $30, are you not going to be upset that they charged you $60 for a game that didn't have it to begin with?
So I would assume, based on their track record with games on the Switch, that if online came out, it wouldn't be a paid, it would be a free update to the game. And then the extra content would be something that you would have to pay for. And then if the other person doesn't have it, you wouldn't be able to do it, you know, that kind of thing. So that's, I would hope that they're smarter than that. You know what I mean? Because that would just leave a huge, like that would be bad. That would be really bad, especially since you're paying for their online service, you know, like,
yeah.
So
That's a double pay, man.
exactly. So, you know, the other I mean, look, Mario Kart is the top selling game on their system. Do they make DLC or do they wait to release? A new game, Mario Kart 9? It's like, for me, I want more tracks, of course. You know, I love 8. I would love it if they would do some balancing to it and then put out some new stuff. But yeah, I don't know about...
I think it depends how far along they are with 9, if they're even along at all.
I think 9 is so far away.
Yeah, so DLC is reasonable if 9 is 3-4 years out. But if we're going to see 9 in 2020, 2021, you probably won't get any DLC.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at. Plumber's saying the Nintendo Direct is just a bunch of Labo.
There's rumor of a new Labo this year, which kind of not surprising to anyone. I don't think they're ready to abandon Labo. Whether it exceeded or didn't exceed their expectations, it was neat and people get to learn off of it. So it's very Nintendo.
I heard it's supposed to be like a gun kit this time around, supposedly.
To go with our first-person shooter.
Hey, there you go. So, what do you guys think we're going to see any changes to the Nintendo online service? Do you think we're going to see the announcement of new games? I know that Super Nintendo games were rumored at the beginning of the year, thanks to data miners. You know, do you think with the possible exit of the DS, and the reason for that we talked the exit of the DS is not only because it's not mentioned in this direct, that doesn't necessarily mean that this thing's going away, but the sales have finally dropped so low that I'm not sure it's worth their time anymore to continue.
At least with new titles.
Yeah, correct. Well, and I think the system itself has even slowed down.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. So, but yeah, something. I mean, what is it that we talked about it? I think I talked about it with Super Nintendo. Like the sales in Japan of the Inside Story or whatever were like atrocious. Like nobody bought that thing. So
it's like the worst selling Mario and Luigi now. Like that version. Correct. It's not a bad game. It's an awesome game. It's just way too late, you know?
Yeah.
And you can play, you know, the DS version on the 3DS. So it's kind of like that one wasn't as needed.
Mm-hmm. Correct. So, Eric, do you think we see any major changes tomorrow in the announcement? You know, do you think there'll be any kind of announcement for Nintendo Online?
If I had to guess, the Super Nintendo stuff is real, but I think it's too soon. Either someone in Discord or someone on some other portion of the internet mentioned they believed it would be more in line with their 1-year anniversary that we might see an update like that. That makes total sense to me, because there's still a ton of regular NES titles they haven't hit. So I sure would welcome it, because there's a ton of SNES games I want on my Switch, but I don't think they've run the course yet, and it doesn't make sense. They just dropped those controllers that won't work for Super Nintendo games. Right. So what is that saying to everyone who just bought those controllers?
Well, you get to buy the Super Nintendo controllers.
I think it's a little too soon.
Yeah.
I think it's just a little too soon. I would love it, but I do think it's too soon.
The other reason, the one thing that's got me thinking is about a virtual console again, is because like the 3DS had a great library of Game Boy, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, even Sega Genesis games that you could play. And I'm just curious if maybe we finally start seeing that. And I think the one thing Nintendo could announce that would probably bring just some favor to them with this whole Nintendo Switch Online thing they basically should say, hey, if you signed up, all the NES games that you received during your time with the program are yours, but you lose the ability to play them online if you don't have the online service, right? Like, I think there would be some, I think that would make people pretty happy to know that, like, oh, these are going to be here even if I'm not paying for the online service. And then whether they do that with, with Super Nintendo games, I'm just not sure, because I feel like part of the problem with the whole Nintendo Switch Online that upsets people is the fact that, like, yes, these games are here while I'm paying for the service, but they're gone not the moment, but I think it's like 6 months or something like that. Then they're you can't access them any longer. And I think that's, I mean, we just saw the Wii Shop channel or whatever go away. That stuff's gone forever now. If you don't, whatever you have on your Wii that's it. You can't get it back again.
I get that, but I mean, Nintendo's been pretty transparent about that for the most part. So I think people are getting on board with that Netflix style of living, right? It's all not your content. I mean, games are yours, but these are basically Netflix versions of Nintendo games.
Well, nowadays, pretty much any game you play, especially on with EA, like, you have to agree to their license agreement, right? So like,
oh yeah, that's like one of the first things that pops up.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's a tough one. I do think when they changed from, and maybe they didn't officially change from it, but originally I believed we were getting original NES games remixed with some online functionality. That's kind of the impression we all had. Maybe that was wrong. When they didn't get that to us, I suspected that was going to create the ability for them to pump out content quicker and maybe get a Super Nintendo and possibly others down the road. But again, maybe we were mistaken in thinking we were going to get that. But I know you and I talked about how cool it'd be to have Mario. We were talking about Super Nintendo, but how cool it'd be to have Mario Kart online, Super Mario Kart.
Yeah.
And that's not what we ended up getting out of the online service. It's more or less just the virtual games.
Correct. Yeah. There wasn't many changes, Adam. Like, we're not going to see 8-player Super Mario Kart. At least it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case.
Right.
As great as that would be pretty awesome.
That would be crazy.
Super Nintendo from the chat says, I want Nintendo to do something that has interacting with friends or their profiles online act like street passes from the 3DS, getting people interacting with friends online more often. And that would be nice, like to see something. And I know there's other companies that have stepped up. Did you see, I think I talked about it on one of the shows. Did you see this, Eric, that I can't remember the name of the company. It starts with a V, I believe. It's the same company that basically got Fortnite's audio working. It's going to be working with other third-party companies as well. And so
yeah, I saw that, and then I wasn't on after Xbox Live made their announcement.
Yeah.
So obviously other people see the shortcomings to some degree that exist in Nintendo Online. So maybe Nintendo's starting to see it too. Like, hey, we have these other people calling this out, and they're not saying anything negative. Nobody's saying anything bad about it at this point, but maybe we should offer this if other people are trying to offer it for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think what Super Nintendo is getting at, like, I think, did both you guys do Street Passes on 3DS?
So I got my 3DS day one.
Yeah.
I didn't have a game until Ocarina. So like that first 5 months or so, it was just me street passing people and collecting puzzle pieces. Like I didn't have any games because I was like, I don't want any of these games, but I need the system.
Yeah. Interesting. Do you have all the puzzle pieces now?
I did at one point, but then it just got to the point where they were adding like 3 or 4 at a time, and I'm like, look, I can't do this anymore with my life. I have some guy trying to hunt me down for racing Mario Kart 2. Like, I can't keep all my, juggle all these balls up in the air. Too many things. Because, I was, planning out my walking route. Like, I was like, I'm going to hit this cafe, take a left here, there's McDonald's. I'm going to get my street pass from that guy. The bookstore, he has 2. I was planning it all out. I was putting messages when they had the Street Pass games, like that little RPG one. I'm like, change your shirt to green. I need a green shirt. We'll coordinate.
Right.
It was awesome.
You're yelling out of distance, so you don't trigger the the meetup. Hey, you need to change real quick. You need to change.
I mean, you can put your little me. Change it like that.
So, but I like what Super Nintendo is saying here. Like, I love that Street Pass aspect of it. Like, that was super fun, especially going to conventions and clean out. Like, I think I'm 200 puzzle pieces away from having every one of them. Shell Shock saying he's got all of them done, and so, if we could jump into a lobby like in the arena in Smash, or everybody, how everybody walks on planet Earth in Mario Kart when you're in the little lobby there, all your Miis. But every Mii that you interacted with, or every person that you interact, if you basically street pass them, got their location, got a little puzzle piece, got that kind of stuff. Like, it seems a little weird that they created this portable system similar to, I mean, it's not as portable as the 3DS, but that had a ton. I mean, they even had some premium games that you could do for street passing. Yet, again with the Switch, nope, nothing. None of that stuff. It's just gone. And so, some of that stuff's kind of fun. It'd be cool to walk around conventions with my Switch and be getting people's street passes and that kind of stuff. Because honestly, I went to Genesis 6 and we barely got any. Hardly anybody had 3DSs with them. And it was kind of a bummer. I was hoping to really clean house, to be perfectly honest. So, it was. Did
you bring all 6 3DS?
No, just mine. But so I think that would be great. I think anything that's just a little more interactive and just gets us just, I mean, even the Miiverse and stuff. There was a large community of people that loved that. Yet, we can tweet some stuff out, but then they leave it off of certain games. I hope Smash gets an update saying you can take 30-second clips. That seems like one of the strangest decisions that they made, because I can't just tweet something out easily. I have to get my capture card out. I have to, it's just kind of a big pain, So, I don't know. Any other things that you guys are expecting or hoping from any other games? We haven't really talked about the. Do you think we're going to see dates for Luigi's Mansion, Animal Crossing? I know a lot of that stuff was kind of possibly leaked already.
Yeah. I think Luigi's Mansion's too far out. I think that would be reserved for an E3. One of the leaks I saw was a Metroid Prime trilogy, because the word on the street is Metroid Prime 4 got started over.
Yeah.
Sadly. So,
for the better,
a trilogy to hold us over. We all kind of speculated we would get the trilogy similar to what we got with Bayonetta anyways. So, I won't be shocked if that gets announced tomorrow. Would you?
No, not at all. Not at all. And I hope they really do it right. I hope they get the control scheme right. I hope they get the online right. I hope there's some multiplayer. Yeah. So, and speaking of Bayonetta, I would love to see something with Bayonetta 3. Yeah, Luigi's Mansion's the leaked date is 7/19. It's the middle of summer. So
I could see that. I feel like that would be a better October title. just because the type of game it is.
I wonder if they're trying to keep it away from Pokemon.
Pokemon's usually November now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, Luigi's Mansion's perfect to drop right around Halloween.
No, I mean, I'm with you. It just depends on, like, Pokemon would have to be at least 2 weeks away from it, I think, because...
Even if it's not, are you not going to buy the bundle with the glow-in-the-dark Joy-Cons? I mean, come on. You're buying those.
I am,
It's going to be little boos.
But, yes. Boo Joy-Cons, I love it.
Yeah, Boo Joy-Cons. They glow in the dark. You heard it here first. That's what
I'd be totally on board with that.
Mel, any other games that you're kind of hoping for? We haven't even, like, scratched the surface on, like, talking about indies or anything, like, you know.
I was mostly just focused on AAA, AA stuff, I guess you can say, because we had some leaks once again for Spyro, this time in Germany GameStop for Switch. So I'm a big Spyro fan, so I would love that. Sunday, I saw a listing for Danganronpa Trilogy set on Amazon Japan. It was the PS4 listing, but on that page, it had Switch in several locations on that. So it could easily be an error, but I'm clinging on to the tiniest bit of hope because I want those games on the Switch. Because I haven't completed 3, so that in handheld form would be divine. And because I love that series. It's an anti-Josh series, but I love it.
So, you may have cut out a little bit. What was the series?
Danganronpa.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm like. I'm not even familiar with this. So when you said it, I was like, I don't know.
I know you know. I know you don't know because this is anti-Josh. It's a visual novel game.
Oh, there's reading involved.
Yeah, I mean, there is a little shooting, kind of, because in the court sections, there's these things called truth bullets. You have to shoot the bullets at the statements. So there's a little shooting.
I perked up.
Just a bunch of kids trying to kill each other to escape, kind of thing. It's fun.
You know what wouldn't surprise me is if we saw a little bit from Capcom, possibly Resident Evils, possibly Ace Attorneys, right? Maybe some ports of those series. But the problem with Ace Attorney on the Switch is you gotta have a microphone to yell objection.
I mean, you can click the button, but yelling is the best way. But there's actually been some talkings lately about a Devil May Cry trilogy being ported to Switch. It sounds pretty early. It doesn't sound like it's going to come out anytime soon. But if we're talking about Capcom stuff, I would love Beautiful Joe 1 and 2 collection.
Okay.
I would love that.
Well, then, and that kind of leads right over into Platinum. We got Bayonetta, and then what is it? Wonderful 101, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So maybe a sequel to that, or maybe a port eventually. You know.
Even Platinum's new game, maybe that we get a small sneak peek of that, because apparently they're making another size of Bayonetta 3. I'm hoping we're seeing 3 tomorrow, though, because it's been about 14 months since we really saw kind of anything. And this direct is doing later during the day, which usually means there's a couple of N-rated titles that possibly could show up. You know, that's
GTA
one of them.
5.
Yeah, I mean, it could happen.
What do you guys think Retro is up to? And we know that Metroid Prime 4 is now in their wheelhouse, but
are they consulting or did they take over development, or do we have any idea?
I believe
No,
they
they're
took over
the
development.
full
out.
team now.
Yeah,
They're like head honcho on that project.
So part of me wonders if the Star Fox Grand Prix, what if they literally made that name up just to like throw people off the scent of F-Zero game?
I don't know. Like the Star Fox game still sounds out there, but that still sounds more likely to me than an F-Zero game of any capacity. Like even a port of an F-Zero game. it doesn't seem like Nintendo really wants to touch that at all.
Mel is just crushing dreams right now.
I'm just sorry. It doesn't seem likely. Like, I wouldn't be upset if it happens. It's just, I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
And Miyamoto, he is a big contender of trying to give Star Fox a bigger name. It's been on record. He's like, yeah, let's make this series, get him up there. But I don't think if it does exist, if it does, I don't think we'll see it tomorrow. I think that needs to be like an E3 announcement, kind of like Mario Plus Rabbids. Because remember, for the longest time, we heard about that and we didn't see it until E3. Because I feel like they kind of really need to show this in depth to get people on board with it, since the idea is so out there.
Yeah, it's the rumblings online are either it may have been canceled altogether,
I hope not.
Yeah, how big is Retro now? I mean, are they big enough that they could work on 2 major titles at this point?
You're making me pull out the Google machine here.
Okay. While you're doing that, I'm going to make my not so bold, obvious prediction. Pikmin 3 is my prediction for the Wii U port. And then I think we get Pikmin 4, probably not announced at this one, but at E3 we might see the Pikmin 4 announcement.
Pikmin, huh? Pikmin.
That's it.
Anything you could suggest before? Like, would it be like open world? Would it be just more the same, multiplayer focus?
Goodness, I would love any of those things. I doubt they would do open world. It doesn't seem, not to say they couldn't do it, I just don't really know how that would fit. Multiplayer would be really fun to have, 2 people running around in the Pikmin universe, picking between the different characters, or 4-player if they wanted to do it that way. That would be very cool.
That's a lot of Pikmin on screen, Dylan, if you had 4.
Hey, this is 2019. We have the most powerful tablet gaming console on the market. We can do it. I would be okay with them just going deeper on the things Pikmin is really good at. I don't need them to make huge improvements. There's some quality of life stuff they can change. They can do things on a grander scale. Maybe make the days a little longer. I always feel like the days are just a little too short. That's part of the stress of the game, though, so I get it. But I just feel like that's such a great series that I don't hear enough. Like, the people who've played it all seem to really love it. But there's so many people who just pass it over because it's kind of a game you look at and you go, what is this? And it may not be for you. But I've yet to really meet someone that said, I played it and I hate it. So if you're out there, just don't tell me. That's my request. If you exist, don't tell me. Is that fair?
So as far as retro,
Mel's is gonna crush my dreams right now. She's like, well, I've played it and I am the one who, don't do it, Mel. Just we'll pass over it.
Okay, I won't do it. I won't do it.
Thank you.
Love it. So I can't find an exact number quickly. I see at one point they were up to 120 employees at one point. So I don't know where they sit now, if they're still there or not. But
yeah, and running 2 games at the same time probably is pretty achievable. They could probably run multiples because the graphic designers, once you do the design of the characters, you can move on to design of new characters. Not everyone's going to be fully engaged through the entirety of making a game. There's so many pieces to the puzzle. So yeah, that's probably enough people that they can work on both. I just didn't know what, obviously Metroid Prime 4 was in pretty bad shape for them to just completely scrap it.
Yeah.
So I imagine Retro's just starting over completely, maybe taking a few concepts, but more than likely they're probably just starting over.
Yeah, there may be some art assets or something that they're able to use, but
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows? Looking back, last year's the big surprise, we saw Inkling running around, the two Inklings shooting each other, and then the Smash logo shows up. And that was like, there was so much hype, right? Is there a game for either of you guys, Mel, start with you, that they could announce during this direct that would just get you to those hype levels? Or I don't know if you were at those hype levels, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, my game would please like 5 people, but Elite Beat Agents, if they announced any one of those.
Beat Agents.
Okay.
But I know that's not happening, so.
What do you think if there is going to be, like, I mean, look, Smash was the December title, like it was the big time, and it sold like crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think would be that big title this year?
I think Mario Maker. I think it would be a second one though. I don't think it's going to be a port. Like I can just see them just adding like little enemies on the screen. You see like the hand moving around, just like a small sneeze of a trailer. Nothing too fancy. Because I feel like that's going to possibly be like this E3 blowout. Because they usually try to focus on like one game at E3. I feel like Mario Maker would be the one to do it. Because we have Pokemon coming out this year, but they don't usually do Pokemon as the showstopper, so to speak.
Right. And they missed such a huge opportunity. They did the Mario Maker 2DS last year that could have been a controller for the Switch to be able to use a stylus. This is Eric's favorite thing when I talk about them using a DS as a controller for the Switch, so you can design while it's plugged into your TV.
It's also my favorite thing too, because you keep calling it DS instead of 3DS.
They definitely did not mention 3DS in the tweet, so we know that's not going to be the case. Otherwise, they would have been hyping it up as more, one more thing to sell.
Right. What game do you think, Eric?
So my big hype game would be a new Zelda. That anytime a new Zelda or a 3D Mario gets announced, that will always put my hype to 9,000. I don't know that we're gonna get a proper new Zelda. Someone mentioned like they might be able to use some of the assets and quickly put out like a Majora's Mask style Breath of the Wild 2 type game. I'm totally on board for that. I don't know that they're gonna announce that tomorrow. I would love it. I would love it if they do, but I don't see it happening.
I'm with Mel. I think it could be Mario Maker 2. I think they could bookend the year with 2D Marios, right? With Deluxe, and then
is that game going to sell like Smash Brothers though?
At this point, would anything smell like Smash Brothers?
I don't know that it needs to, because of the fact that Pokemon and Animal Crossing are coming out. Right. It seems like Mario Maker 2 could almost be like the icing on the cake. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't disagree. But your question to Mel's was, what could be that killer selling Smash Bros game?
I see what you're saying. Yeah. I get your response now.
I totally think we see whether it's 2 or Deluxe. That's the part I'm not sure, because are there enough assets that they can really make Mario Maker 2? Or is it just all the stuff from the first and some of the things people asked for, some of the additional assets for Mario Maker Deluxe?
Mel, do you think there's enough?
I think there could be. Because they can add like slopes, they can add like 2. They can add maybe even a new art style we haven't seen. maybe like a little sneak peek at a lost concept stage or something. They can add better online, communities for it. Because for the Wii U one, you had to like type in some stupid long code to play even your friend's level. Like you were already friends with them, like you still had to type in this stupid code. I hated that.
I'm just looking at the sales numbers. It's like 3.5 million copies sold. Looks like for the Wii U,
which is pretty good percentage wise, right? I mean,
yeah, because that was like what 12 million, 13 million right there.
Yeah. So I mean that's nothing to scoff at. I mean that's pretty good for what the Wii U was install base.
Yeah, it is. It's so I guess, and it looks like the 3DS is about almost 3 million as well. Right. So.
Jeez, man, that was like a GIMP version too. Man, they really made bank on that.
Yeah. So I mean, improved online would be a big thing for it, right? That would be huge. Because if people coming over from the 3DS 2DS line, they didn't have the ability to upload anything, right? So that'd be big. Like Mel said, slopes. Shell Shock in chat was saying, maybe they incorporate Yoshi's Island.
Oh, okay.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah,
into the
that'd
mix,
be cool.
Right? Maybe something there, and I think just I don't. It's been so long since I played that series, but I guarantee you there would be. I think the game would sell really well because the Switch has done something that has brought so many people back to Nintendo that had been away from it for so long. The ability to go and make Mario levels, I think, is something that is just so intriguing and something that could really. I don't think anything's going to get at the hype level of Smash, right? Like that's just that was crazy. Like everybody was pumped. I think Animal Crossing is going to sell like crazy, and I think Pokemon's going to sell like crazy. So I don't know that we would necessarily see something that's going to be like super like get us really really super hyped. But I think for a holiday game, I think Mario Maker is a good fit there, especially since we haven't seen a new 2D Mario. We've seen 3D Mario, we've seen 3D Zelda, and maybe we do see a 2D. And who knows? Maybe they call it like maybe they change the name and it's like. Maybe Zelda stuff's incorporated into it too, or maybe they do a Zelda Maker instead of just a regular 2D Zelda. I don't know. I'm just kind of throwing off. Did you hear that sigh? Did you hear that? She's like, I don't want to make a Zelda game. I want to play a Zelda game.
Yeah.
I don't like to make things. Like it's not already made. Sorry.
You can play other people's made levels. You don't have to make anything.
I know. I did that last time and. Yeah.
Metroid Maker has a good ring to it, though.
I want Mario Kart Maker. You would have to do it in the Super Mario Kart style. You could never pull it off with 8. But how cool would that be to have Mario Kart Maker in the Super Mario Kart style?
That would be right.
Just add a track maker, track editor. Just add that.
Yeah, I think just with the 3D with how good Mario Kart 8 looks, I think everything you would make would look super bland and terrible.
It's possible.
Josh is so cute. Having his dreams trust. He probably had some like blueprints, I made out.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean,
stuff anymore.
You're only going to get so much that you can make, right? All those games have a finite amount of stuff you can add before you run out of room. So you're not going to waste any of that on background textures. You're not putting trees in the background. It's all going to be track, and it's going to be super boring to look at.
I'm going to put the trees in the middle of the track. You have to go around them. That's going to be my level.
They just got to give you the theme. Like, here's Mario, like Mushroom Kingdom theme. Here's like Rainbow Road theme. And then you just go at it, you just so but I think we're hour 10 minutes. I think we've discussed this direct enough. What do you guys think?
I guess,
Yeah.
All right. Mel, where can people find you?
I'm gonna be in the Josh Discord.
That's where she's gonna be.
Okay.
And N64 Josh Discord. She's
It's
on
a good
Twitter,
place to be.
but you'll only find her if you see I retweet her. So,
Yeah, pretty much.
Eric, where can we find you?
You will find me on Twitter. You'll find me in the Discord. Maybe you'll find me on Xbox playing Apex Legends for at least the near future. So hit me up wherever you want. Hate Zero, zero spelt with an X.
Guys, if you want to follow me, it's N64 Josh everywhere. Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube, all the places at N64 Josh. You want to follow this show, it's at NPowercast on Twitter. The show notes for this episode will be available at n64josh.com/NPC175. If you want to email the show, npc@n64josh.com. You want to get yourself a free book from Audible, go to audibletrial.com/NPC. The chair I'm sitting in from OPC, go to n64josh.com/OPC. You will automatically save $10 at checkout, and the Valentine's Day sale going on, you will save an extra $20 right now. So go check them out. They're a great chair. I highly recommend them. And guys, I have added some new t-shirts to the N64 Josh merch store. If you go to n64josh.com/store, you can check out all of the new shirt designs there. There's a Mario stock from Smash Bros. There is a Piranha Plant stock, and there is a hashtag Plant Gang. If you are into the Piranha Plant in Smash Bros, that t-shirt's for you. So you can check those out again at n64josh.com/store. Do join the Discord. We'd love to have you. Come hang out. n64josh.com/Discord. Lots of great people. We broke 1,000. So, here's to the next one. 1,000 people. And it's crazy in there. It's crazy. It's out of control. On Saturday, I made 18 new servers trying to run the Smash tournament I was doing. And I saw people scrambling trying to mute all the new servers because their phones were getting blown up. So pretty funny, but coming out, it's a good time. We also have a Facebook group, n64josh.com/Facebook group. And lastly, guys, right now the top review on iTunes is a 1-star because I laugh too much. And so if I do laugh too much, I'm sorry, but I'm having a good time, so I can't stop laughing. But if you want people to not see that bad review, please go leave a good one for us. All right? We'll see you later. Bye now.